Hello everyone and welcome to a new Past-Cast. Today we're going to take a look at an Orc Mirror, which was played in July of 2006. And yeah, as you can see, it's between two of the best known Orc players of Warcraft 3 till this day. Spawning here in the bottom left spawn position is Lyn, the Korean, in purple, who has made his return to Warcraft 3 last fall, and he's been doing pretty fine ever since. And in the top left spawn position, Grubby, who is playing a bunch of Warcraft 3, casually again as well. So both the players have found their way back, at least to some extent, to Warcraft 3 at this point. But this isn't 2016. This is from the summer of 2006, and therefore we're going to deal with quite a different metagame here compared to anything basically that we've seen in the past 6-7 years. And as you can see, both of the players are starting with the altar, burrow, and no barracks here. So what we can expect is the fast here first by both of the players, a quick tech, and then basically both of them just running around with their Farseers, scouting with the wolves, perhaps try to do a bit of damage to the opponent's economy, but usually the best that they can hope for with these little skirmishes is to force some peons off the lumber harvesting and into the burrows, and perhaps deal a bit of damage to those, but neither of the players should really be expecting to get anything significant out of the early game. But then again, the upside of this kind of metagame is that this early game is going to be over quite quickly, as the tier 2 of both of the players is going to come into play very, very quickly, and then things get very interesting. Most likely, as this Twisted Meadows, where there's the tavern in the middle, we can expect Firelord second by both of them, and then once they reach tier 2, things can get a little bit more freestyle in terms of unit composition. Grubby with the Scout Wolf towards the bottom left corner. Now both of the Farseers have seen each other, and now both of them should be aware of where the other player has spawned. Grubby, looks like Lyn fooled him here a little bit by going here first and then heading towards the tavern. Now the wolf, did Grubby over scout the space of Lyn's? Looks like, well, he turned around now, at least now he saw it. But this means that this burrow is probably going to come up. Whereas in the base of Grubby, I'm not quite sure if this burrow is going to make it. The wolves should no longer be on cooldown for Lyn, as he has spawned them quite quickly. And yeah, he can spawn another pair of wolves. And I think this should be the first already kind of major difference here. Lyn should be able to cancel this burrow. Grubby, on the other hand, is not going to be able to do so. As you can see, the burrow is about to finish now. And that means first little edge here for Lyn already, and I said it in the beginning, usually that's nothing that should be expected to happen as early on, but in this case it did. Grubby also is not getting a Warmill early on, and Lyn almost finished his Warmill already. Grubby's coming in again with the low HP wolves, forcing some more retreating from these peons inside of the burrows. Lyn in the meantime, just hanging out outside of Grubby's main base, not bringing the wolves in currently. Grubby a little bit more active here with his harassment early on, at least it appears that way. Often pretty hard to judge early on in these kind of games, and once the players reach tier 2, I guess you just have to see what the situation looks like. And speaking of reaching tier 2, both of the players are getting there. Both of the players right now with their Farseers are heading towards the tavern, and I'm expecting that both of them are gonna want to pick up the Firelord. Grubby just gained about 150-ish lumber, so it looks like he planned to build a tier 2 building here, but then had to cancel it. Lyn, on the other hand, also doesn't have the lumber to get any tier 2 buildings into play just yet. Firelord second picked up for Grubby as well. Lyn with a little bit of a lead and momentum here currently, getting the Firelord first. He's at Grubby's base already, and this means Grubby is going to be forced to defend here, which generally speaking is definitely going to be pleasing for Lyn, as his base is going to be able to, you know, produce tier 2 buildings in peace. First lava spawns on both sides on the field. Lava spawn number 2 already on the field for Lyn, so yeah, we can clearly see a bit of an effect here already of Lyn having his Fire Lord out a couple seconds earlier compared to Grubby. Both of the players focusing each other's lava spawns right now. Looks like Lyn's is going to be the first one to fall. Both of the Farseers taking quite a bit of damage, especially Grubby here, who has to fall back immediately with this one, and it looks like he's gonna have a tough time coming back into this fight. At the same time, the Fire Lord of Lyn is taking a bit of damage as well. So the only healthy hero currently here is the Fire Lord of Grubby. In the meantime, Wc3 coming, first Headhunters in production already for Lyn, and on the side of Grubby, same thing basically, Headhunters. Wormel has finished in the meantime for the Dutch player as well, and the Wc3 is coming on top of things. So it looks like both of them trying to consolidate right now. Grubby is bringing back his Farseer already. Both of the Farseers again are in some trouble. It looks like neither of them is going to be falling though, but Lyn is going to be forced to retreat here, as his Fire Lord also is looking not so healthy at less than 100 HP. And therefore it's only Headhunters right now against the Wolves, the Grunt and the Fire Lord, and those aren't exactly the preferred tanks here in the Orc army. Grubby needs to be careful here. His shop is not yet finished, but it looks like he should be able to turn around here, get past this wolf, and then pick up some heal staffs probably. Wolf is falling. Grubby has his Farseer at 15 HP. The Grunt is coming in, but Grubby is paying attention, walling the Grunt away from the Farseer, and Lyn has to concede here for the moment and accept that he wasn't able to get that kill. But it looks like he wants to keep the pressure up here immediately. Grubby seems to be willing to take this a little bit more slowly, going for some creeping, but I guess that's not happening as Lyn is streaming in again. The first Kodo beast is already on the field though for Grubby. Lyn is not even bringing one across the map just yet, but it's being caught off guard. Has to pull back. Grubby's blocking himself here, and he's cancelling. Yes, it's the 50 supply burrow actually, so this is actually very painful for Grubby, who's sitting at 40 out of 40 right now. And if Lyn realizes that, I think he should just fall back here and take a very, very good fight in like a minute or two, but he decides to engage, nevertheless, apparently not realizing that his opponent was going to be supply blocked at 40 out of 40 for a long time. Lyn losing the first Grunt here and a Headhunter, so quite a terrible fight there for the Korean, not getting anything out of this. A very good position there for Grubby. Lyn, yeah, streaming in a little bit overly quickly perhaps, and as I mentioned previously, Grubby is at 40 out of 40 supply right now, adding the Spirit Lodge on top of things, and Lyn could have just waited. He was at 38 out of 50 already previously. Lyn, by the way, has added his Spirit Lodge already as well, and then Lyn could have definitely gotten a fight with like 46, 48-ish against still 40, when Grubby would just be finishing his burrow. But, you know, it's a tough a tough conclusion to get at here just by seeing your opponent cancelling the burrow. So both of the players continue creeping here, going for their null overseer camps. Lyn splitting his heroes, trying to do some harassment here, but not really all too much he can do with a lone level 1 Farseer. Grubby now with level 2 on both of his heroes, Lyn with level 2 on the Fire Lord. Farseer not quite there yet, so we can see a bit of an XP lead there for Grubby, I guess just thanks to the fight that we've seen here. And Grubby seems to feel quite confident here, going for the Goblin Merchant creeps immediately. Basically a camp that Lyn wants to have for himself, but it looks like, as I said, Grubby seems to feel confident. Killing the first of the Ogre Warriors, the creeps are now falling back. Lyn's coming in from the bottom, killing one of the wolves. The Waller is down to about half his HP already, so yeah, both of the players need to be basically on the lookout for this guy to drop to very low HP. Lyn is picking up a heal scroll. Does he have a salve? No, he doesn't. So this actually could turn out to be quite painful, the damage he just took here on this Farseer. Then again, he's got a heal scroll, whereas Grubby has got none. Headhunters pushing forward. Yeah, first Walker is on the field already for Lyn. But the Headhunter's not positioned all too great. Chain Lightning gets rid of the first one of those. Grubby's falling back. Maybe one of his Headhunters could run into some trouble. It's actually the Wolf that gets taken down first here for the level 2 on Lyn's Farseer. Now Lyn is streaming forward, losing the next Headhunter though, so not really positioning those all too great. Whereas Grubby seems to be a little bit more in control of things. pulling back the first of his Kodo Beasts. The second one did eat another one of Lun's Headhunters, so this isn't a fight that Lun should be able to really continue taking here. The Kodo Beast is probably going to fall as well, 10 HP, and yeah, the Firelord is actually getting the last hit. Grubby needs to pay attention to his Farseer though. Dispel by the Spirit Walker, but the damage output with all of that piercing damage is so high, the Korean unable to go into ethereal shape here in time, and another Headhunter got picked off, so a very, very good fight here for Grubby, who is at 45 supply against 39 here, but there are 2 supply inside of this Kodo stomach on top of things. And Grubby is gonna get the kill here. Rune Braces, not exactly the luckiest item drop here for the Dutch player, who's picking up a heal scroll, and who decides to Town Portal out of here. Lun with very few units, but Grubby with a bunch of low HP units, so maybe he decided to sell the Rune Bracers here and not risk taking a fight where, you know, he's low HP on some units going into it. And Lun is switching unit composition here, so it's going away from the traditional, you know, mass ranged Headhunters, Kodos, Spirit Walkers kind of stuff, and he's adding a couple of Raiders here. 2 already, and he's getting a 3rd one even, which is a bit surprising, because what's gonna provide the damage output here for Lun? I mean, having like 2 Raiders or so has definitely proven to be a very nice addition to the Orc army, but you know, he also needs some damage output against the Headhunters, against anything basically that isn't unarmored in Grubby's army. So whereas well, while Lun is gonna have some great lockdown, waking up the creeps, he's got a speed scroll out, he's probably gonna lose this one Headhunter here for free. Yeah, Lun is gonna have some great lockdown with these Raiders. The question is he going to be able to, you know, provide the damage output that is necessary to really keep up with Grubby's damage output here currently? And I think the answer might be no. Another Wolf not yet falling here. Lun bringing the Peons as well. Grubby doesn't have Peons with his army. The first Raider is being taken down immediately, though the first Walker is going to fall as well. But yeah, as we can see, Lun doesn't really have all too much damage up here. Another Raider is coming in for him. The second one is falling already though, and Grubby decides to even Town Portal out, which, well, again, his Headhunters here were a little awkward, but was that really necessary? He's gonna give this creep camp to Lun right now. Lun down to 38 supply against still 50 of Grubby, so yeah, he's had a marvelous trade here. Again, better safe than sorry, I guess, is the motto here for the green orc player. Sobi Mask found by Lun though, so, and an XP tome, so yeah, that's what Lun is getting here for Grubby pulling the TP so quickly. Grubby with 2 speed scrolls with a new town portal. Looks like he might be going for some creeping here at the lab as well. I'm wondering if he wants to get a Sapper perhaps, or what the idea is here behind creeping the lab in front of Lun's base. Perhaps just for some XP, we'll find out about it. And yeah, what is Lun doing? Adding a second Raider again, another Headhunter, another Headhunter. So yeah, getting some more ranged units again back into his unit mix, and Grubby with the Flute of Accuracy, the dream item here for his army. As you can see, +6 on the Headhunters right now with the Flute and the Kodo Aura. And Lun is getting some more creeping in as well. Caught up supply-wise here. In terms of items, well, Grubby didn't really get anything great either, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's got 1/1 upgrades though. Lun with 0/0, so that's where the money went for the Dutch player here. Lava spawn splitting here. This is quite annoying, and it looks like Lun is gonna go for the attack. He's going straight for the main. And that's the one upside of these Raiders. He's definitely gonna have a good time trading base here. The shop is going to be taken down here, and then Grubby is TPing in, and very, very aggressively. These Headhunters very much exposed, but at the same time a lot of damage output here on the field for Grubby, who is going to be able to shift click through all of these weak units. Chain Lightning coming in on both sides. Level 4 on the Firelord of Grubby. Farsi has reached level 4 previously already as well, but Lun does have double level 4 on top of things. Kodo Beast gets not sniped out here. Lyn is putting that one back in time. Grubby's fast here, needs to pay attention. Speed scroll used, but then snare on him, and there's no more down pot. Let's just use that, and Lyn is able to take down Grubby's fast here. Fight that was starting out pretty promising for Grubby, but now losing the fast here, losing another Spirit Walker. He is just losing unit after unit. Another 3 Headhunters are very low on HP, and all of them are falling. In the meantime, this Kodo Beast gets away with 3 HP on the side of Lyn, and all of a sudden there are only, well, 3 units for Grubby and the Fire Lord. And these 3 units aren't going to get particularly far. What a nice dodge here of Grubby by the Spirit Walker, dodging the ensnare with the ethereal shape. The Raider is going to get away as well for Lyn, and all of a sudden, yeah, Grubby down to 1 Spirit Walker and the Fire Lord. Fortunately for him, he's got the burrows positioned somewhat decently here to help him defend his base. The Raider is not being microed here by Lyn. So given that Lyn has lost the majority of his units as well, wow, he just lost the Kodo Beast here to the creeps. I'm not paying attention. Given that Lyn has lost the majority of his units as well, I think this shop is probably screwed and a Spirit Lodge, but with this small army that Lyn only has remaining, I don't really see him breaking Grubby's base currently. Farseer is halfway back. The yeah, Spirit Lodge is going to be taken down as well. Not a big surprise. So Grubby's production is going to be limited to, okay, Raiders, which he's getting right now. So Raiders, Kodos, Headhunters is basically all that Grubby is going to be able to get here. Whereas Lyn is going to be able to keep up the Spirit Walker production. Sending out a wolf right now to scout the natural expansion here, but this one has not even been crept. Another wolf is being sent out here. So yeah, Lyn doing a good job here, making sure that Grubby isn't getting back thanks to a sneaky expansion or anything like that. The wolf, is he see? No, he's not gonna see the Headhunter here. Fortunately for Grubby, Lyn very close to level 5 with both of his heroes. It looks like he decides to get his Farseer there first. And speaking of the Farseer, Grubby's Farseer is back right now. His Fire Lord is also somewhat close to level 5, but turns out that this TP was too aggressive there by Grubby. I think with a more, you know, with a calmer positioning by Grubby, he could have really made use of the fact that Lyn is investing, or did invest so heavily into Raiders and not really, you know, into any huge damage output here. PN is coming in right now for Lyn, so maybe he's going to be the one taking an expansion here right now, and why not? I mean, he's got the bigger army, he's got the better heroes, he's got basically all the trumps in his hand. Grubby rebuilding the Spirit Lodge. Only about 3,000 gold left in here. Lyn with a little bit less. Rebuilding a Kodo. Still has the 1 Raider for ensnare. And the shop has been rebuilt. Grubby picks up heal salves immediately, as well as clarity. Lyn found the Talisman of Evasion here for his Fire Lord. And streaming back in the meantime, adding the expansion on top of things. New Kodo for Grubby. Yeah, needs to make sure not to get that one killed immediately. Plenty of ensnare available, of course, for Lyn. Lyn would love to take a fight here, but Grubby is really, yeah, not willing to leave his base currently. He's got a lot of Headhunters here, a Spirit Walker, his heroes, the Kodo. So a lot of range damage output on top of things, of course, the burrows as well. And this isn't really a position that these Raiders want to engage in. So I guess Lyn is, yeah, making the right call here, going for the expansion. Chain Lightning is coming in, and as you can see, after only 1 Chain Lightning and a bit of damage output from the burrows here, Lyn is already forced to retreat, as all of his Raiders have taken way too much damage already. So Grubby has 2,000 gold left in his mine, and until he leaves his base, there's pretty much nothing that Lyn should be able to do here. Wolves coming in by the Korean. He is falling back, breaking into low upkeep right now, going up to 60. So it looks like, yeah, he's preparing to take a fight here eventually. I mean, then again, all that he needs to do is defend his expansion eventually. I didn't rebuild his shop. He's rebuilding his shop just now, so this means, yeah, he's gonna have to stay back here, getting a heal scroll right now, and probably, well, should be taking things slowly. He's heading towards Grubby's main base again. Grubby pulling the creeps from the laboratory right now. That could be very, very painful for Grubby if he gets sandwiched here by the creeps. And Lun's army. Lun is actually coming in. Still a lot of stuff low HP. I'm not really sure if I'm the biggest fan. The position here is actually marvelous for Grubby. No creeps in his back, and this is a very small choke where the Raiders should have a very difficult time engaging. The Wolves get dispelled immediately by Grubby. The Chain Lightning is coming in. 2 Raiders have already fallen. The heal scroll has already been used by Lun. And he's losing pretty much his entire front on top of things now, getting his own Chain Lightning in, dealing some damage here. The Kodo Beast of Grubby has fallen, but at the same time, there's only a grunt remaining and the 1 raider here for Lun, but that is all that he's got left of his front, and his back line isn't really all too strong, and Grubby is totally steamrolling his opponent here in this fight. Spirit Walker gets taken down as well, and all of a sudden it is Grubby who is very, very much ahead in terms of army size, and Lun is the one who's forced to retreat. Lun definitely overcommitting here, not patiently enough waiting for his Spirit Lodge to finish, to heal up his raiders, to take a fight, perhaps in not the smallest choke that is anywhere around Grubby's main base. But yeah, Grubby getting the perfect position there, and Lin is gonna have to fight back right now. The game turning around once again, and yeah, Lin now is the one who has to retreat. Level 5.5 on his Farseer, level 5.5 on his Firelord, and Grubby, who just, you know, a minute and a half ago was very much down in hero levels, all of a sudden level 5.5 on his Farseer as well, and the Firelord is already closing in on level 6. Another wolf gets taken out, another wolf of Lun trying to get the kill on the Raider here, not able to do so though, and one more kill and this Firelord will be level 6. Grubby, as it appears, just scouted the expansion here. PN has taken some damage. I imagine that must have been wolf of Grubby. But yeah, the point is, right now, Lun, all he needs to do is survive currently. Grubby does not have an expansion. Lun is out of gold income, so Grubby is gonna have about 400 more gold left to spend. His Lodge is being taken down as well by Grubby. The Headhunter is actually not being taken down here. And that's it. Lun 41 supply against Grubby's 47. Another lava spawn has been summoned here by the Korean. Kodo is joining the army. You should really make sure not to lose this Kodo boost here. Speaking of Kodo beasts, Grubby doesn't have one. Dispel gets rid of another wolf, and that's level 6 for the Firelord here. He's skilling level 3 Incinerator, so we're not gonna see any volcanoes, which makes sense given that there's Ensnare on the field. But I guess the last raider has just gone down on the side of Lun, and Grubby doesn't really have all too much left standing as well. The Kodo beast of Lun is being microed too late here, and Grubby is getting back his raider, and that helps him getting rid of the last Spirit Walker here on the side of Lun, and Lun is losing so many units here. Grubby still has 4 units on the field, Lun only 1 currently. The Spirit Walker doesn't have mana for a Dispel, so Grubby has to kill these wolves basically manually, but he does so. Level 6 on Grubby's Farseer in the meantime as well. Both of Lun's heroes are very close there as well. But Lun has nothing left but his heroes. He's not getting the kill on the Spirit Walker. 2 HP could prove to be very useful eventually later on. And Grubby is pushing forwards towards this expansion. Looks like some more wolf harassment has occurred here in the meantime. Lun is just trying to slowly wear down Grubby. He's adding grunts, raiders. Grubby is bringing his PNs right now. Adding another raider, adding another grunt as well. So now going into these bulky units. The heroes provide a ton of damage output on their own at this point, and I guess now it's about the lockdown of the Ensnare, about the survivability of the units over the additional damage output. The Firelord needs to pay attention though. Invo Potion used. He's going for Grubby's Firelord with the Ensnare. Lun has to pull back his only raider currently, and Grubby's new raider is coming in, and he's ensnaring the raider of Lun. Getting rid of the last Ensnare, but there's another raider coming in, and Grubby exposing his 2 Spirit Walkers. One of them is definitely gonna fall. The second one, is he able to morph? Yes, and there is no Chain Lightning available currently. And now the Firelord of Lun is in trouble and is falling. And this is, looking more and more dangerous for the Korean here, who is, losing his PNs here to the PNs of Grubby. Level 7 on the Firelord of Grubby in the meantime. Another raider is around though. And Lun is just trying to go for the kill on this Firelord. He knows if he can get rid of the heroes of Grubby, then things should be looking very, very good for him. But Grubby is pulling back his Firelord very, very far. Another raider of Lyn is falling. The last raider, I think, of Grubby is falling. No, he's added another one. But that's it. That's all the gold that Grubby has. But it looks like Lyn can currently not get his Fire Lord back. 138 gold, and these peons have gotten rid of all of the peons, well, almost all of the peons inside of Lyn's gold line. And Lyn sold his Sobi mask. He can rebuild his Fire Lord right now, but that's gonna take a while, and is his expansion still going to stand by the time the Fire Lord is back? Grubby with new wolves. The raider is just kind of chilling here. Okay, now he realizes it, brings the raider, and he's going for another push. The clarity on the Fire Lord providing a lot of mana. One raider, one headhunter is all that Lyn has currently, and he somehow has to try and repel this push here by Grubby. But Grubby is just sending another wolf in and a couple of peons. Lyn falling back. Fire Lord is halfway back. Now the wolf realizes that the Fire Lord is being rebuilt in the altar, and it looks like Grubby is going to go straight for it with everything he's got, and this is looking very grim for the Fire Lord. Lyn isn't even defending there. Needs to make sure not to get his raider ensnared. Yeah, but Grubby is just going for the altar. Fire Lord has already been cancelled, and Lyn is going towards the tavern. Does he have the resources? I think so. Yeah, he probably doesn't have the lumber, and well, he's got a few peons here. No lumber income anywhere else though. So no lumber income at all currently. And it looks like, yeah, he cannot rebuy his Fire Lord here. He's got 700 gold. What to spend it at? That's the question. All of his peons are gonna fall once again. Even Grubby's fast here closing in on level 7. Lyn trying to go for a counter attack here. Maybe adding another peon and adding a raider here. But yeah, what is Lyn supposed to do? 14 supply against 28, and this expansion is gone. Another 2 peons getting killed. These peons are retreating, and the raider is going to get killed right now of Lyn, and that's not going to make things any easier. Level 7 on the fast here of Grubby. The raider is being taken down. Wolves immediately dispelled here by Grubby, and that's the GG. Lyn calls it quits. Very, very back and forth game, and I think the main issue, well, the main mistake, I guess, by Lyn was to commit too quickly when he had the expansion coming, when he had a bunch of his raiders on low HP, and when he just had his shop being rebuilt in the back of his own base. I think there was not really any reason for him to give Grubby the fight in front of his main base in the pretty small joke where the large number of headhunters, Kodos, spirit walkers of Grubby had a pretty easy time dealing with the raiders of Lyn. And afterwards, well, it just wasn't enough anymore for Lyn to hold the expansion. You know, he tried, but eventually had to concede there. Grubby breaking the expansion, and no doubt at this point that the game was won. So I hope you enjoyed this one. And I hope you'll, subscribe, give a comment, and give a thumbs up if you did. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.